watching out for you. A Fox 5 I-Team investigation.
How far will you go to keep track of your teenagers? Well, there might be an easy answer, but is it the right thing to do?
Well, the I-Team's Dana Fowle has a special report that could cause an ethical dilemma for families who really just want to do the right thing. Dana?
Well, teens text, get this, more than 3,000 times a month. So some parents feel like they're really losing control at home. So spyware is now available to track those texts. But is this taking it too far? You see the cell phone I have on me? I could use this to listen into my daughter or son's private conversation, no matter how far away they are. Right now, this sweet face wears her heart on her sleeve.
Well, yeah.
But when she grows up, she'll close up. Teens want a private life. It's as old as time. But what's new is that these days a private life takes place on a cell phone. Texting is the new talking.
What do you guys talk about?
Not much. Just like, hey, what you doing? Nothing really. Doesn't really go anywhere.
Most of it is meaningless, but sometimes it's not. Take old-fashioned mischief, layer in some cyberbullying and some sexting, and you've got some pretty freaked out parents.
Here's that. Don't go through the mud.
Heather Ball's a mother of 4. She gave her 12-year-old daughter a cell phone for safety. But what eventually alarmed her was all that texting.
In the matter of just days, there were like over 500 text messages back and forth.
Mom says the texts were above board, but as the text messages went up, the math grade went down.
What were you doing?
Just making conversation, just to be in touch with the world, I guess.
Which is more fun than math?
Yes. I guess my biggest worry is that I know what I did when I was young.
And that fear drove her to a website that offers spyware. Lots of companies do now. It's a way to eavesdrop on your kid's phone by tracking their texts, emails, phone calls, whatever they do on that cell phone. Parents set up alerts that will come to their phone or computer every time one of the kids makes a connection. Check it as often or as little as you like.
I feel like I'm protecting her from herself, but giving her parameters. I do not, by any means want to or feel the need to read every text message sent.
And honestly, Balin doesn't have a big problem with it, at least not yet.
It doesn't bother me, really.
It doesn't?
No. I think I feel like a little bit more protection when she can see all that, but yeah.
Do you think you're going to feel that way when you're 15?
No.
So we asked some older teens what they think about moms and dads tracking their every move, their every word by spying on them. Well, it doesn't go over too well with 16-year-old Stanley Stewart.
It doesn't allow room to grow at all, and even more than that, it's dirty and it's underhanded, and it's completely contradictory to what you want to, the values you want to instill in your child. Be honest, be truthful.
17-year-old Havala Driver says she gets it. Parenting is tough, but she's not a spyware fan either.
It's one thing if you see that I'm exhibiting awkward motions and kind of being a little sketchy. That's a reason, but just to see what I do and who I talk to, you could just come to me and talk to me.
Now, here's a feature they really don't like. Let's say I had spyware on my daughter's cell phone. I could actually sit right here in my own living room and trigger her microphone, listening in to her conversation.
So you're going to go to the dance with, do you think? I don't know. No.
That's so weird. It's
Oh my God.
That's really creepy.
And in some cases, this is illegal. According to the Attorney General's office, you actually have to tell your teen that you have spyware on their phone. If you don't, you're breaking the law.
I think the fear is natural, that we all worry about our children.
But do you spy on them?
I don't think so. I really, really, really don't think so.
Deborah Deckner-Davis is a little bit of an expert on children. She has a PhD in child development, and she's a mom. She understands every parent's fear about sexting and such, but she thinks spyware is no substitute for talking to your children.
So asking them, where are you going? This is when I expect you to be home. I would like for you to call me when you get there. Who else is going to be there? Have I met them? If not, I want to do so before you go there.
That sounds old-fashioned.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And it is, and it's low-tech.
Throw it to Mommy.
Heather says she and her daughter do talk a lot. and she's conscious of not micromanaging her daughter's social life. But she does want to be the rudder that helps her daughter navigate growing up.
I feel like on one hand it prevents her from doing, things that she might or might not have done, and also it lets her know that that cell phone is not, it is ours.
Now, there are privacy laws in Georgia that say that eavesdropping like this is forbidden unless one person on that line says it's okay. But, and this is a big one, a parent can surveil a child's computer or the house phone if it's within the family home. When the child is on a cell phone outside that house, you can't spy without their permission, and some spyware companies, I bet you, are going to challenge this.
Well, it makes you wonder, too, is anyone really going to prosecute a parent who spies on their underage child?
In a normal situation, I seriously doubt that, but it's the unusual situation that will get challenged. There was a case in Tennessee where the mother of a toddler put spyware on the child's cell phone, a toddler now, so that she could hear conversations between the child and the ex-husband. That's the type of case that takes what seems like a no-brainer situation to some folks to a whole new level.
Right. Real potential for abuse.
Yes.
All right, Dana, thanks very much. We're going to continue our discussion about this spyware in about 10 minutes tonight with former U.S. Attorney and Libertarian presidential candidate Bob Barr. He has some very strong opinions about whether this is good parenting or good public policy.
Sounds like a whole new can of worms.
Absolutely.
All right, stay with us.